Hey everybody, it's Liv back at you again with another video. Today we're going to cover a couple of different interesting topics, so let's get right into the video. First up, I want to talk about this story that I've been digging into myself. As you guys know, and if you followed my Twitter or YouTube for a little bit, I went to a Proud Boys event last year at the Demand Free Speech rally in Washington, D.C. I had a positive experience with them. I would not consider them to be racist, rude, bigoted, Nazis, any of those terms that the mainstream media likes to use to describe them. So let's just get that out of the way first. You're not going to come in my comments talking bad about them and saying that I'm brainwashed and that they're basically the KKK, because that is just not the case, and I've experienced that firsthand. So I do have a couple of acquaintances and people that I know who are in the Proud Boys because I went to that event and because I made that video last year entitled, "Are the Proud Boys Racist?" A lot of people actually reached out to me to thank me for making that video, saying that finally someone was speaking the truth about them, that they're not racist, that they're not white supremacists. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got a message on Twitter from a Proud Boys member who I actually happened to meet last year in DC at the Demand Free Speech rally. And he had an interesting story to tell me. Basically, he was in the process of being expelled from school. Yes, kicked out of school for being a member of the Proud Boys. Now, his school and his peers were somewhat aware of his involvement in the movement, but what had caused enough of an issue to bring it before the school board was that he had been pictured wearing a Proud Boys shirt. Wearing a Proud Boys shirt to me is an example of free speech. That is not a threat, that is not violent, and it is not even hateful. People are conflating being a Proud Boy with being a Nazi or being a KKK member, and I totally disagree. Certain things that would also fall under free speech, which I disagree with. I personally disagree with the Confederate flag. I don't wear a Confederate flag for obvious reasons, and when I see one, I'm like, stupid. And I'm, again, not going to argue about that. But do I support banning a student who has a Confederate flag t-shirt? No. Not at all, because that's their freedom of speech. So for faculty and students at this guy's school, who I cannot name and I cannot name the school, for these people to take a look at this picture of a shirt taken without his knowledge, first of all, taken without his knowledge, taken by another student, trying to get him in trouble. That was completely ridiculous, and it completely goes against the First Amendment. And this is a state school. This is not some private little college where people are typically kicked out for small reasons. This is a state school where I believe you should be allowed to wear a t-shirt saying what club you're in. That's all it is. A club, a movement, a team, a group. But in no way, shape, or form is it a bigoted terrorist organization like they are portrayed in the media. Anyways, this hearing went on for a couple weeks. I was getting updates from this guy. I checked in on him a couple times a week just to see how it was going. And I told him I would make this video as a message to the schools, to my peers, my fellow college students who are so overwhelmingly leftist that they cannot even fathom going to the same school as someone with a different opinion as them. So this is for you. If you support censoring, if you support ruining someone's life over them being a conservative or them being in a conservative right-wing group. This guy is not a racist. I met him and a lot of his peers last year in DC. And guess what? He actually won that hearing and he is still enrolled in that school. And he had a message that he would like me to share with you guys. So I'm going to read that right now. So I cannot use this real name on camera, but to the Proud Boys that know him by his nickname Radar, this is from him. In the back of every Proud Boy's mind, we know we could lose friends, family, jobs, and even our lives to wearing our colors proudly. But when you know that moment's coming, you accept it. Face it on your own terms, and never apologize for what you know to be true. Follow my example and be ready to give up everything for what you believe in. Because these are crazy times, but we have each other. We will make it out the other side. This is what it means to call yourself a Proud Boy. Uhuru. Thank you, Radar, so much for sharing your message with me. I'm so glad I was able to share it with all of you. And to those watching who believe that we should have our First Amendment rights stripped away, that we should have our lives ruined for having conservative ideals, it's not going to happen. I believe that the Proud Boys are going to stand true to their ideals, and so should the rest of us, no matter what we believe in. I am well aware that as a fellow college student myself, this video could put me in a little bit of jeopardy with that, but I will fight that as well. So, bring it on. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's move into our next topic, which is about 50 Cent, the rapper. Yes, 50 Cent endorsing President Donald Trump for re-election because he does not want to pay 62% in taxes under Joe Biden's proposed tax plan, which would raise taxes for those making over $400K a year. I guess 50 Cent does not want to be 20 Cent. Last week, we already talked about how Ice Cube has been working with President Trump on the Platinum Plan for Black America, and he didn't even endorse him, and he received a lot of flack from celebrities, from the black community, from the liberal community, from the mainstream media, blue check marks on Twitter that nobody knows, basically everybody. So imagine the backlash that 50 got when he not only criticized Joe Biden, but literally posted that he endorsed Donald Trump. As you can imagine, the racial slurs from the left poured out on social media, calling him Uncle Tom, a coon, a sellout, all that kind of jazz. We've heard it before. I'm tired of it. It ain't nothing I have heard before. It ain't nothing I haven't heard before. It's basic. The funniest reaction to it was actually his ex-girlfriend, Chelsea Handler, who was speaking to Jimmy Fallon and said that she had to remind him that he is a black man, which is why he cannot vote for Trump.
You heard about my ex-boyfriend, right? 50 Cent, and his support of Donald Trump.
Yeah, what's going on between you? I saw your tweets and I go, wait, what's happening? Because you said he was your favorite ex-boyfriend, and then what does he do? He's supporting Trump?
He says he doesn't want to pay 62% of taxes, which, by the way, isn't a plan of Joe Biden's. That's a lie. So he doesn't want to pay 62% of taxes because he doesn't want to go from being 50 cent to 20 cent. And I had to remind him that he was a black person, so he can't vote for Donald Trump, and that he shouldn't be influencing an entire swath of people who may listen to him because he's worried about his own personal pocketbook. So I haven't heard back from him yet, but I am willing to, seal the deal in more ways than one if he changes his mind and publicly denounces Donald Trump. I might be willing to go for another spin, if you know what I'm talking about.
Wow, white lady, thank you so much for telling me that I'm a black man. Thank you. I went through my whole life thinking I was Caucasian. 50 Cent, rapper 50 Cent, went through his whole life not knowing that he was a black guy. Well, Chelsea, you are really a treasure to society. Thank you for your work. You stupid. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You can be black and vote for Trump. You can be black and vote for Biden. You can be black and vote for Joe Jorgensen. You can be black and vote for Kanye. It doesn't matter. Your ideas do not make you black. Your opinions do not make you black. I'm sorry. I know it's gonna piss people off. You could be a full hardcore communist. You could be a full hardcore capitalist, nationalist. I don't care. If you're black, you're black. I'm not going to take that away from you. But apparently white liberals have a different sense of the word black. They think that black is synonymous with Democrat. So I'm really stressing out right here. I'm like, am I black? I'm not a Democrat. But, as always, white liberal Hollywood celebrities know best. So I think it's time that I fully transition into 100% white because I'm not a Democrat. So off comes the wig because obviously I am white, so this is fake. I have come to the conclusion that I actually am black because I tried to take the fro off. It turns out that I do not have straight blonde hair underneath of it. So yeah, Chelsea, I don't know. I am voting for Trump. That doesn't take away who I am. If anything, your statement was actually pretty racist, implying that 50 cannot think for himself and that since he's black, he has to vote for Joe Biden. And I really thought that people would learn after people had so much backlash towards Joe Biden's comment. Oh, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You ain't black. First of all, that is straight malarkey. But I thought people would learn. I really thought people would learn, but no. And of course, Jimmy Fallon's sitting there like, ha 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 ha. Like, he has no objection to that. So, Jimmy, you too. I don't care. You too. You're racist. Chelsea's racist. I'm really sore from practice. I sit down. I really wanted to talk about the Hunter Biden thing, and around 2 a.m. this morning, I saw the leaked tape. I'm not going to describe what was in that tape. I'm not going to tell you what it was or where to find it, but I'm sure you could if you looked hard enough. I do, in fact, regret watching the maybe 30-45 seconds of that video with every inch of my being. So that is honestly all I have to say on that matter. I am waiting for the rest of the details about Hunter to come out. I think it's very, very interesting that it's coming out right before the election. I know politics is crazy. I know this is on purpose that it's being released before the election, but God, it's so hilarious. I just want more information to come out. There's all these details of alleged abuse that Rudy Giuliani claimed, that he handed over the laptop to Delaware State Police because there was explicit images and minors and drugs and things on it. So I am waiting to hear more information about that. But yeah, totally do not watch that leaked tape. It's on some Chinese website, but you did not hear that from me. This video is going to get demonetized. A little personal update. 5 or 6 weeks ago, I met these 3 guys, brothers actually, 2 biological and 1 is their brother in Christ, and they became homeless, unfortunately, about a week ago, and I did take them into my home as long as I could. Unfortunately, I do have a landlord, and unfortunately, I can't have 3 people staying with me in my small little space. But through help on Twitter, I was able to raise some funds to get them groceries, toiletries, and a hotel room. I did dip into my pocket quite a bit. But since this video, if it doesn't get demonetized, it will make about $1, if that. My YouTube analytics show I make about $5 or $6 in a month off of ads. So I'm not rich off of it at all. But if you do want to help me out with some of the expenses, trying to get these guys back on their feet, feel free to hit me up on Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, or just pray, because they believe in the power of prayer, and they've really opened my eyes to just how effective and impactful faith can be in someone's life. They never complained about having to sleep on my floor. Even when they stopped by and they're like, they came by my work and they said, we've been sleeping in the laundromat because we got evicted, and they weren't even complaining about it. They were happy to have a roof over their heads, even if it was the laundromat. So, yeah, they taught me a lot. I try to help them out as much as I can. I am helping them get jobs right now, so we're going to see about that. I will keep you guys updated. But, yeah, if you would like to help me out with that, please consider praying or donating or sharing. Anything really helps. Anything at all. So, thank you very much, guys, for that. And one last thing I wanted to share, because I always get this question in videos about my makeup, so I wanted to start sharing like maybe one or two like techniques or tips, because people always ask about usually like my lipstick or my eyebrows, or like the 2 main things that people comment on. So I will show what lipstick I use in the video. I do something weird. I don't really like lip liners, but I do like to have a lip lined look, which if you're a guy, you have no idea what that means probably. But if you're a woman who wears makeup, you know what that means. So to line my lips, I don't use a lip liner. I actually use the eyeshadow. So it depends how dark I want to go. Today I didn't want to go that dark. As you can see, it's not super dark brown. But I just use this shade from my Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. And then I faded it out with this, I think this is Milani. This Milani lipstick. You can just get this at CVS. This is called 69 Matte Beauty. Never realized that before. And then in the middle, just to fade out even more, I have this other lipstick. I'm pretty sure this is Maybelline. Yes, this is Maybelline. Oh my god. I'm not a beauty guru at all. Okay, this is 915. It's called Blushing Beige. And it's just a nude color. And I just, you know, make it so it's not so harsh and like dark brown. So yeah, that was my beauty tip of the day. That's how I do my lipstick. I don't know if the people even watching my YouTube care, but I do get so many comments on Twitter and so many messages like, what lipstick are you wearing? So that's what I wear. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have some more videos coming up, guys. Thank you so much for supporting and watching, even when I don't upload as frequently as I say I should. So again, thank you. I'm going to put my links in the description if you want to help me out with the homeless guys I've been taking care of, or if you just want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter or something, that's all going to be down there. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.